everyone. Thanks so much for being here today. Today I'm going to be discussing all of the books that I read this summer and if I think you should read them with a yes, no, maybe, and a small explanation why. So Funny Story by Emily Henry is a yes from me. This is a really fun summer read, and I think that if you've enjoyed her other work, you would definitely like this. For me personally, this is my favorite one of her books that I have read. House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas is a yes. This is part of the Crescent City series. This is the second in the series, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's a yes, especially if you have enjoyed her other series. Next, we have Taming 7 and Releasing 10, which are both part of the Boys of Tommen series, and controversial opinion, but I am going to say no to both of these, but yes to the first 4 books in the series. Honestly, the first 4 books are some of my favorite books ever. I loved them, but these 2 I didn't enjoy. Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck is a yes to a maybe, depending on if you like the genre of self-help. For me, I don't really read a lot of self-help, but I actually really enjoyed this and I took something away from it, which I think is the whole goal of the book, so that's definitely a positive. But I also found this to be a very accessible and easy to read self-help book. Yes to a maybe, depending on if you like the genre. If you do enjoy self-help, I definitely think it's worth trying. Next, we have The Wedding People, and this is a hell yes from me. This was a 5 out of 5 stars and one of my favorite books of the summer. One Italian Summer is a maybe. I liked this. It was an easy, light read. However, it wasn't as heavy hitting as I expected. So maybe. The Great Alone is a yes. I think that this is worth your time to read because of the character dynamics as well as the unique Alaskan setting. My Friends by Frederick Bachman is a yes. I think that this is quite an emotional book with characters that you will grow attached to, and if you've enjoyed his other work, then you will definitely like this one too. The Shadows Between Us is a no from me. I found the main character was quite insufferable and unlikable, and the plot was pretty predictable, so no. The Summer Tree, which is the first book in the Fiona Var Tapestry by Guy Gavriel Kay, is a yes to maybe, depending on if you like high fantasy. If you enjoy high fantasy, I think you'll like this, but if you are not familiar with the genre, I don't think this is the place to start, and I don't know if you would enjoy this. God of Malice is a no. I really wanted to like this because I know it's popular, but I really didn't like the MMC in this, and I didn't like some of the tropes, so it's a no from me. Fearless by Lauren Roberts, sure. If you've read the rest of the series, then I think you should continue on and read this, but it wasn't my favorite of the series. Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood is a yes from me. This was a really fun summer read with a really cute romance. Summer of 69 by Ellen Hildebrand is a yes to maybe for me. If you enjoy books that are told from multiple points of view and have multiple narrators, then you might like this. I think if you enjoy her other work, then you'll definitely like it. For me, it was just an okay read. I did enjoy it, but it wasn't my favorite of all time, so maybe. Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings is a yes to maybe. For me, this was a definite yes because I love books that are set in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and this one is set in the 90s and about a 90s model and a 90s rock star. So I really enjoyed it. However, I do think if you've tried to read her previous series, Magnolia Parks, and you didn't like that, then you're not gonna like this one. So that's why it's a yes to maybe. This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune is a yes, but I think you should only read it in the summer. Every Summer After and One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune are definite yeses for me. I think that these are her best work, in particular this one, One Golden Summer. This was a 5 out of 5 stars for me. Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune is a maybe for me. I think that if you enjoyed her other books, then this one is worth reading, but I personally don't think that it is her strongest work. I read all of her books this summer, and this one was the least favorite out of what I read, so it's a maybe. It's definitely not bad, but it is not my favorite of hers, so maybe. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid is a yes. This is a cute love story with interesting family dynamics and a fast-paced plot that you can get through pretty quickly. So yes. Heartless and Powerless by Elsie Silver. Definite yes to this one. This was one of my favorites of the series. Yeah, for this one, wasn't my favorite of the series, but if you're reading the series, you might as well continue on. So yes, for both. Red Rising, Golden Sun, and Morning Star by Pierce Brown are a yes. I loved these books. I have never really read sci-fi before, so these were my first try at reading them, and I really enjoyed them. I grew attached to the characters super quickly, and these are fast-paced, high-stakes books that you will just fly through. My favorite of the series so far was definitely Golden Sun. I loved it. So yes for this series. So those are all of the books that I read from June to August this year. And if I think you should read them with a yes, no, or maybe. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, especially if you have made it this far. And I will see you again in my next video soon. Bye.